Hello, Ryari Fushimitsu here, and welcome to Let's Play Ape Escape 2, Part 3. So, last time, if you remember, we just captured a bunch of monkeys and, just traveled around the world as usual in that Castle Frightmare level, but now we're going to the Vita Z Banana Factory, where they manufacture Vita Z bananas. They're these bananas with genetic enhancing abilities. They can make people and things grow, and they can give them like superpowers and stuff like that. And this is part of Spectre's plan, his big elaborate plan to, rule the world, which is pretty much his main plot in this game. A very generic seeming plot compared to the plot of the first game and the third game. So, we're in the factory now. Of course, every game has to have a good factory level. Pretty much every Ape Escape game has at least one kind of factory level. At least the first two did. Remember, there was a factory that was occurred much later in the original Ape Escape. Spectre's factory now gives us a factory level quite early in the game, actually. Then again, what is quite early in this game? This is kind of a short game overall. Most of the Ape Escape games are kind of short. Most of them are kind of short. They don't have an awful. Well, Ape Escape 3 is somewhat long, but this game only has, I don't even sure how many levels it has, but it's pretty much comparable to the first Ape Escape. The other major difference between this game is that the monkey net, or the net used to capture monkeys, it tries to, because the AI, but the player that you play as automatically tries to make it lock on to monkeys. He often swings it accordingly, even if you're not exactly swinging in that specific you're swinging in that general direction he does, but he just moves the net around kind of like he's swinging it, like swinging maneuvers trying to capture the monkey it could be moving around. The original Ape Escape didn't do that, and apparently a lot of people seem to like that more about the original Ape Escape. But that seems to be a common, opinion, is that a lot of people seem to like the first one more, mostly because the first one's extremely nostalgic to a lot of people, and this one, not so much. I'll admit, this one's not as nostalgic for me. I got the original Ape Escape a very long time ago, and I played it a lot as a kid, and I really liked it. And then I got Ape Escape 3 shortly after, which is also really good. But then for the longest time, I didn't have Ape Escape 2. I didn't get Ape Escape 2 until 2012. So 2012 is when I finally actually started playing Ape Escape 2 and actually getting into Ape Escape 2. So I thought, it was a good game, but I could see why people don't like it as much as the first and third games, and why people consider it to be the black sheep of the Ape Escape series. But as time went on, I learned to appreciate it more, and now I think it is a really good game, a really good PS2 classic, a gem on the PS2 from 2003, a game that takes good advantage of what the PS2 is capable of. It's a game that very well could kick the GameCube in the face, because, this game's obviously a PS2 exclusive, and then it got released on GameCube, obviously not, which gave Sony a lot of edge over GameCube. And Sony also had Ratchet & Clank, which this game came out about a year after the original Ratchet & Clank, and this game also came out in the same year as Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. I'll probably Let's play the Ratchet & Clank games eventually. Those are what really made the PS2 what it was. Ratchet & Clank kind of stole Ape Escape as being Sony's flagship franchise, or even Crash. Well, Ape Escape is not really Sony's flagship franchise. Crash Bandicoot was, but Sony eventually lost Crash Bandicoot. So now it's pretty much Ratchet and Clank. Now it's kind of like their flagship series, their flagship characters kind of thing, which I guess they kind of have the right to be. That those games are really good, and they had a lot of spin-offs as well too, and stuff. I have the original Ratchet and Clank. I have Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I have Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Ratchet Deadlocked, and I even have what is it called? Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, the PSP game on the PS2. I actually have most of the Ratchet & Clank games on the PS2. The only one that I know of that I don't have is Secret Agent Clank, which is also a port of a PSP game, but I would like to get that one eventually. And those are games I'd like to Let's Play eventually. So there's no shortage of games for me to Let's Play. I think my channel is probably going to be constantly uploading videos for probably the foreseeable future from the way things are going now. Everything how much games there are to play. Even if video games just got discontinued and also never be any new video games ever again, I don't think I'll be much of a problem for me. I have a lot of games and things to play and keep me entertained. Heck, I pretty much live off classic games, considering the fact that I never played modern games. I pretty much depend on games like these for entertainment. A lot of people do. A lot of people agree that a lot of these older games actually are more entertaining and more enjoyable than a lot of the new modern games are for the modern systems. Because I said before, there aren't really any Ape Escape games being made anymore. So all I have is just the classic ones, and I kind of play these classic ones a lot as a means of protest against Sony. It's like I'm protesting modern Sony. By modern Sony, I want you to make a new Ape Escape games, but you're not, so I'm just going to play all the old ones instead of buying your new system. Instead of buying your new system, I'm just going to play all your old classic games and from the previous systems. I don't really like Sony much anymore, mostly because in 2012 they screwed me over by coming up with this new rule that says you have to be 18 or over to go on YouTube, and it wouldn't let me go on YouTube for that reason. That's like telling a 15-year-old that they can't go to the movies to see a PG-13 rated movie because they're 15 years old and they're not 18 years old yet. You have to be that age or older to go to the movies to watch a PG-13 rated movie. Sony's logic is flawed as hell. That's why I don't really like Sony much anymore. And their quality, I think I've said this in some other video, but the quality of their products have really declined over the years. I never buy Sony products anymore for that very reason. I boycott them. I had a choice between Sony earbuds or Skullcandy earbuds. I bought the Skullcandies, and I still have them to this very day. 3 years later, I'm still using them. I'm using them right now, actually, as I make this video, and they're still working quite well. I actually recommend Skullcandy earbuds if you had a choice between earbuds or you're going to buy earbuds. They cost about $20. Like 3 years ago, they cost about $20. I don't know how much they cost now, but I think it was a pretty decent price. And considering the fact they're still working and still lasting, yeah, I'd say that is a pretty good deal. So now we're going to, it's pretty much Vegas, I think, the casino place in Vegas, where there's monkeys rampaging everywhere. We're getting a new weapon, pretty much, a slingback shooter weapon, a staple for the Ape Escape games, and a very Bart Simpson-like weapon, where he just uses a slingback shooter against his enemies, like a gun. It's like a primitive gun, almost, or something that indigenous people would use. Oh look, plot.
It's great fun to travel alone for a change, and I'm on a great winning streak. What's all that commotion, I wonder? Huh? Why does that monkey look familiar?
Monkey! Professor!
Hikaru, what on earth are you doing here?
You see, we accidentally sent the monkey helmets with the pants. And then Spectre appeared and started messing around again, and what I mean is, it's all a big mess.
Yes. So that's why that monkey was causing mischief. In that case, we'd better get going. I'll rush back to my laboratory. For now, you just catch as many monkeys as you possibly can.
Will do. People!
But I must say, I'm a little worried about Pipocchi's safety. Yeah, I've got it. Pipocchi will come home to the laboratory with me. Okie dokie?
Oh, people! The professor's right, you know, Pipocchi.
Come along now. There you are. There's a good boy. All right then, I'm counting on you.
So we just ran into Dr. Phil. Apparently Dr. Phil is taking his vacation to Vegas, Viva Las Vegas, where he's going to go to the entertainment stuff, and apparently he was winning big. He probably got kicked out of the casinos for winning too much. See how much casinos love it when people keep winning, right? You seem to have good Rain Man skills at winning games. You kind of have to be like Rain Man if you actually want to win something at a casino. You can throw these slot machines and they give you loads and loads of cash, which again actually does serve a purpose this game by it being a currency, which ironically enough, I'm actually going to use all this cash to pretty much gamble, which is what you do with that machine and in that bedroom, which is the main hub world of this game. There's enemies everywhere after us. I wonder why there's no one currently gambling at this casino. Casinos are open 24/7 in Vegas, but I don't think there'll be anyone here right now because you can see there's monkeys everywhere, there's enemies everywhere. They probably evacuated the entire place. They probably called the Nevada State Trooper on them or something like that. But even the State Trooper's not powerful enough to take on these monkeys, which really questions how powerful these monkeys actually are. We know from the first game that obviously the army or people like that can't take on monkeys because why weren't they going after the monkeys at all? Obviously because they weren't equipped enough, or they weren't good enough to take them on. But yet a 10-year-old boy from a magic lightsaber and that was enough to take them all out and save the world. That really does question the police a lot of time, or question the police and army people. So are they really as good as they say we are? Maybe we should defund them then. A lot of pacifists think we should get rid of the army. So maybe that's a good idea on their part. Maybe this game was made by pacifists secretly as part of their big, how do you say it? Some big, they're trying to connote a message to the people of the world, and maybe they're implicitly doing that through games like this. People accuse video games of being recruiting tools sometimes. A lot of kids play stuff like Call of Duty because it encourages them to take guns and fight in wars, things like that. So maybe someday in the future when they grow up, they'll join the army and fight in a war or something like that. And the youth that they used from playing stuff like Call of Duty. People used to make fun of me a lot of the time for not liking Call of Duty. I played this a lot more than Call of Duty. This game's way better than Call of Duty. This game actually has a pretty good challenge factor where you actually have to like carefully think of what you're doing a lot of the time. You use a lot of strategy involved in trying to capture the monkeys. Like when I just right there, I had to jump on that platform thing and just randomly swing my net around. Randomly swinging your net around is a really good strategy. And then of course, yeah, and then through that thing where you that slot machine like thing where you could win stuff, you could it's possible to win health and lives and things like that, which it's really hard. It's a lot harder in this game to earn extra lives in this game because there's none of those golden shields from the first game that served as the coins in Mario. Because of that, it's really hard to earn new lives in this game. And you probably are going to get a game over in this game if you play this game a lot. You will eventually game over quite a bit. That is, unless you're investing your money that you earn in slot machine. Everything also encourages you to, because it's really easy to get a lot of currency in this game. The most amount of currency you could hold is about 999 coins is the most amount of coins you could hold at a time. And considering how much you get in this game constantly throws coins in your face, you're going to be hitting that maximum point very early in the game. You're not going to get very far if you just save up, and eventually you're going to get to a point where you can't hold anymore, so you might as well spend it on something, which is what the game encourages you to do. So you see, now we're in some sort of entertainment venue, because Las Vegas is supposed to be the entertainment capital of the world. So we freed that monkey. I think there's a hidden monkey like that in the New York City level. We'll see that later when we come back to the Jester, simply named Jester. They couldn't come up with a more unique and creative name for it. It's Jester, the Jester, or the Jest of all Jests, or something like that. I think that's the most monkeys we've caught for a level now. 11. We caught like 11 monkeys are over there. It's quite a lot for a level, considering the fact the first few levels only made us capture 3 monkeys, or even less sometimes.
The monkeys have spread to more.
And of course, Dr. Phil is back in the lab. Well, it's not really a lab, it's the apartment or bedroom or whatever it's called. You can see Peepachi is in that crib in the middle. Because they don't want us to bring Peepachi with us anymore, which is kind of a shame, because he actually did give us some helpful stuff earlier on. Like, he helped us kind of float towards platforms and things like that, so now we can't do that anymore. The game's going to be a little more challenging now. And of course, I just said Dr. Phil is going to be annoying us too. Dr. Phil's going to be constantly saying, "Oh look, we got yourself a new gadget." At least it's not like in the first game where he's going to make us, do the training levels. Ryori Fushimitsu, signing out.